About 8 years, which was a short time. And I was working for Tarrant County Courthouse. This little lady came in. She was working at Enterprise. And I waited on her. I had no idea that when I waited on that young lady, that she was going to become one of the very most important people in my life. And that is in the person of Linda Beard. When I met Linda, she and Nathaniel were dating. And she came into the courthouse because she had told me about it, and she showed me a picture of it. And she came into the courthouse one day and she said, "Honey, I got some good news." And I said, "Okay." Nathaniel asked me to marry him. I said, "All right." And she was so happy. I hadn't met Nathaniel. I hadn't met him. So Linda wanted me to meet him. So when I met him, she had taken me to his apartment, and he had a banner all the way around the wall. I shall never forget it. You know, before we had the printers with the ribbon, with print banners, he had this banner with printing on it that said, "Nathaniel loves Linda." And I asked him, I said, "Why did you put a banner?" He said, "Because sometimes I forget to tell her I love her." He said, "And if I forget to tell her, she can look up on the wall." I'm thinking, wow, how awesome is that? Long story short, when I met Linda, Nathaniel accepted me not just as Linda's friend, but he also accepted me as his sister. This man has been a very important person in my life. Next to my husband now, Nathaniel is my hero. My husband's my hero now, but before him, it was Nathaniel. Nathaniel has helped me to grow spiritually, morally, mentally. He has been my friend and my brother. And Nathaniel, you know I love you. I'm not a fighter, but I would fight for Nathaniel. I'm not a fighter, but I would fight for you. So, you know you wasn't going to get off. Your wife asked me to do this. So, it's not like the first one I wrote about you 20 years ago. You've grown since then. God is good. Okay. This narration was given to me by God and with the help of the Holy Spirit in my prayers. The title of this narration is called The Hat Man. This story I'm about to tell you is not about a common man. Your prerogative to evaluate my words, but to disagree, I doubt anyone can. I am sure you are probably wondering why I call him the Hat Man. Well, listen to the story, and then you will understand. Now, the man wears a cap, but that is what the physical eye can see. But on the inside, yes, on the inside, the Hat Man is walking in his destiny. There are those who simply ponder or question our God-given task. Then comes along the Hat Man, who simply does whatever he is asked. If I may use my imagination, at birth, I believe God spoke and said, "As I shape you, grow you, and mold you, you will wear many hats upon your head." The Bible reads in Matthew, "For there be many called, but few are chosen. I have designed an array of hats for you, uniquely fashioned and woven. There will be a peculiarity about you. And at times you may not understand. But I have chosen you for this task because, my child, I knew you would be able to stand. There will be some hats that you may feel are a burden to you, but my grace is sufficient. I will always see you through. For each of us that are present, do you remember the hat's design? You know, the hat he wore for you and your circumstance at the time. Let's begin with the hat of his word. We all know his word is his bond. If the hat man says he will do it, you can consider it already done. He has worn the hat of charity. Remember when you couldn't pay a bill or needed gas or food or transportation? The hat man was there. Let's just keep it real. He has worn the hat of a vocalist, singing at weddings and funerals in church. And let us not forget the happy birthday song that we all cherish so much. The hat of a combat soldier fighting for his country. The hat of a husband loving his wife as Christ loved the church. The hat of a father loving his children. The hat of a friend who loves so much. The hat of Peter the disciple who doesn't mince words. The hat of the Apostle Paul who had been abased and abound. The hat of Joshua, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. The hat of David with might, as when he slew Goliath to the ground. But the greatest hat of all, in the proclamation of the hat man's story, is the hat that he wears for Jesus, and that God will get the glory. While some wear hats for fame, and others to possess style and class, the hat man wears his hat, proclaiming only what he does for Christ will last. The Bible reads in Luke, to whom much is given, much is required. And we all have been given so much when we reflect on the legacy of the hat man and the hats he has worn for us. Nathaniel Beard Jr., your life was predestined by God with an assignment for you to do. When God wanted a hat man, what a privilege, what a privilege, what a privilege and an honor that God chose you. To God be the glory.